But, oh, boy. Yeah, you heard what I heard. All of a sudden, this vicious static was burning into my brain. I was like, well, this has never, ever happened before. So that was awful. And it scared the shit out of me. I'm like, wait, what is going on here? I don't know. So I saved that first file, and I got out of the live stream. I shut everything down. It was doing that static the whole time I was shutting it down. I have no idea what was causing it. I don't think it was computer related. The only thing that's different is, I'm not even sure what, and so I'm not sure what caused that to happen. That has never happened ever. Okay, so there you go, Alan. I know you're actually doing some diagnostic stuff right now from Blue Frost IT. Did you do that? Was that? I don't think you. There's anything you could have done that would have caused that to happen. I was looking at my device here, my mixer, and I think it was sending the static down the line to you. I don't think it has anything to do with the computer setup, because you got a kind of a merging of things here. You've got my sound being converted digitally and then sent into the computer, and then it's just, who knows? But so I'm in here, and then all of a sudden the door opens up, and it's Diana. She's like, "Why haven't you started yet?" Well, I did, but the shit just hit the fan. I'm not sure what, because Benny has to go potty. I'm like, all right, bring him back then. Okay. All right, let me pick up where I left off. I was describing to you this Karen in San Francisco. On the Patreon, I talked about it. You got a guy, he's got his residence, and he goes out in front of his house, and he is doing a nice stencil that says Black Lives Matter. You know, whatever. And he's a man of color, as he's described. He is self-described as a Filipino gay man. Okay, great. And he's writing Black Lives Matter, and the neighbor assumes he doesn't live there. He does. And starts to, like, excuse me, what are you doing? And being a bitch. And she's there with her husband. And listen, she tries to be polite, and she just assumes he doesn't live there. But because I don't know why she assumes that. But he does. And so he doesn't give her the time of day, doesn't really answer her questions. Listen to how this all goes down, and then I'll give you how it all turned out as the finishing part of this story.
Is this your property? Hi, I'm asking you if this is your property.
Why are you asking?
Because it's private property.
I like how he's like, why are you asking? He can already tell how nosy she is, this Karen.
Because it's private property,
So,
sir.
are you defacing private property, or is this your building? You're free to express your opinions, but not on people's property.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Just respectfully.
So they're doing all the talking. He hasn't said anything other than why are you asking? And he's not going to answer them whether or not he lives there or he doesn't live there. They just assume he's not, and they're giving him all these reasons why he's wrong for defacing someone else's house, but it's his house.
Sure.
So we're just saying, absolutely, your signs and everything, and that's good. This is not the way to do it.
Okay.
It's private property.
But if I did live here and it was my property, this would be absolutely fine. And you don't know if I live here or if this is my property.
We actually do know. That's why we're asking.
Oh, really? Because you live here, right? You said so.
Because we know the person who does live here.
Oh, okay.
So
Then
that's all
I
we
suggest
wanted to
you
ask.
call
I'm
him
not
or
disagreeing with
call the
you.
police.
I don't
Or
wanna call the police.
because
What do you
you're
want me
accusing me
to?
of a crime, correct?
What I'm asking you is why are you
And I'm
doing
not
this?
answering you.
I love this guy.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
So your choices are to call the cops if you believe I'm calling a crime, and I will more than be happy to talk to him.
Okay. Thank you.
What's your name again?
I'm Lisa.
Lisa, what's your last name?
What is your name?
What's your name? I asked
I'm
first,
not
Lisa.
committing a crime,
What's your name,
sir.
sir? What's your last name, sir?
What is your first name,
Robert.
sir?
I'm not answering. I'm not talking to you. You're talking to me. I'm asking you the questions.
Well, we're not doing anything illegal.
Neither am I.
Actually, you are.
Oh,
Actually.
yeah,
Yes.
you are. You are doing
Okay,
something.
well then, call the cops.
Thank you. We will do so.
Lisa and Robert.
Yeah.
I'll be right here.
Okay, thank you so
Bye. And that, people, is why Black Lives Matter.
Okay, so this is tricky. This racist shit is tricky. These two people.
That's Karen, and she's calling the cops. And this is going to be really funny.
All right.
Because she knows the people who live here. Personally.
She obviously doesn't because it's his house. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. So, you know, all he had to do at that point, the second her stupid rich face shows up in his field of vision, he can already sense she's fucked. Because in this day and age, you do not want to be on the wrong side of all of this shit going down, because the following can happen. She is a CEO of a San Francisco-based skincare company. Just pretty successful, well-to-do lady, this Lisa Alexander. Well, all of the companies that she distributes to and sells her products are like saying, fuck you, we're out. We don't want anything to do with you anymore because of this, because of how you were in this scenario. So immediately her livelihood dries up. So she turns to, okay, I better put out this fire. I better make a apology. She said Sunday she was deeply sorry for her racist actions when she told gay Filipino that he was illegally writing in chalk on a retaining wall because it was private property, which is his. Yeah, it was, hey, he's back. Come on in. Benny, come on. Oh, has he got his baby? Did anybody send you any text messages? Because the shit hit the fan a little while ago. I don't know. I heard all this crazy static, and I had to restart everything. You got your baby? Oh, okay. Okay, Benny, welcome back. Okay, thank you. Check him out. See? He takes that thing everywhere. See that baby in his mouth? You don't want to be near him if he's got that thing in his mouth. He'll bite your face off because he protects a baby. We go to the vet, he takes a baby. Then you got to, like, coax it away. He won't really bite you, but he takes his baby everywhere. That's why he had missed the baby. That's why he put the thing right in his mouth. You got your baby? You taking care of your baby? Oh, I love you. Okay. She wanted, meanwhile, the wife's company, La France Skincare, this is, the lady has taken its website offline. I want to apologize directly to gay Filipino. There are not enough words to describe how truly sorry I am for being disrespectful to him last Tuesday. That's a pretty good apology, actually. When I made the decision to question him about what he was doing in front of his home, I should have minded my own business. The last 48 hours has taught me that my actions were those of someone who is not aware of the damage caused by being ignorant and naive to racial inequalities. As far as apologies go, I think this is a good one. I think she's owning it. Well done. She's very bright, but she's right. Extremely nosy and Karen-like by all this shit. And considering what the hell is going on in the world today, you do not want to be on that side of the camera. Mind your own fucking business. When I watch a video, I'm shocked and sad that I behaved the way I did. It was disrespectful to gay Filipino. That's Mr. Juanillo, and I am deeply sorry for that. I did not realize at the time that my actions were racist. Yeah, you did. And I've learned a painful lesson. Well, the guy in the video, he's another rich fucker. He got fired. Oh, my God. You do not want to be these people. He works for Raymond James. They announced that the guy, Robert, was fired. We have zero tolerance for racism and discrimination of any kind. An inclusive workplace is fundamental to our culture, one in which people are free to bring their whole selves to their careers. They say all the right things. They fired the guy. Oh, my God. After an investigation of the circumstances of a video alleging racism by one of our associates, we've concluded the actions of he and his partner were inconsistent with our values, and the associate is no longer employed by Raymond James. My God, what a time we live in. It's kind of a reckoning, you know? I mean, The death of Floyd has put all of this into motion. This would not be an issue had George Floyd not died. And so, holy crap, if you were to keep a tally of all the things that are happening in the world, it would be a long, extensive list. And as these people get weeded out of the culture, man, what an update. The open of the Eric Zane Show podcast, as cataclysmic as it was, is brought to you by several key sponsors I'll get to in a second. First of all, get yourself an Eric Zane Show podcast t-shirt. Different styles, blends. You can choose the t-shirt like full cotton or the 50-50, long sleeve, short sleeve, ladies styles. Got hoodies if you want, hats, all there, ericzaneshow.com under merch. A&E Heating and Cooling, out and about just the other day. I saw that Zaniac sexy voice Andrea. I got a visit paid by one Joe Martinez, and she was a little flummoxed by the handsome Latino machismo of one Joe Martinez. He took a picture next to her, and she was like, oh, my gosh, I love this man. A&E Heating and Cooling. Call on them, 616-516-8579. Get an AC tune-up. Was $89. Now it's $79. If you need a new air conditioner or a furnace, probably an air conditioner this time of year, you can call on them. They have teamed up with the Comfort Maker, air conditioners and furnaces, to give you the best in the business. Comfort with confidence, the Comfort Maker. Thank you to Joe as well. If you're not familiar with the singular line of products for health, beauty, wellness, energy, weight loss, metabolism, being awesome, you should. Singular, that's Xyngular. Zaniac Kim Lazara distributes Singular. What you do is you go to ericzaneshow.com, click on the X. It's like a turquoise X with a white background in the sponsor scroll. That'll take you right to Kim's distributor Facebook page. There is a website, but she wants you to go to the Facebook page for Kim and get a look at some of the great products that they have available. She is awesome. All of her contact is there on her Facebook page. Thank you to Kim, distributor of Singular. And then, of course, the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. A mortgage could be in your future right about now. If you're looking to get in on buying a home, you got to have the mortgage in advance. Call upon Mario, whether it be your first, your 10th mortgage, whether it's a refi, whatever you need, call on him. He's my guy. Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. There's Van Dyke Mortgage locations everywhere in the United States, but it doesn't matter where you are. If you're in Portland, Maine, if you're in Washington State, if you're in Florida, if you're in Corpus Christi, Texas, does not matter. Call upon Mario. He's our guy. 231-332-6505. As always with the sponsors, you might not need them right now, but if you do happen to need anything for any of these, do call upon the sponsors as the need arises. And please mention my name. That would be fantastic. Okay. I think things have settled down from earlier. Holy crap, was that weird. Let's see. Show opinion. This person writes anonymously, just catching up on show 370 from Monday, and the recap that you read from the police officer, former police officer, of the attempted arrest at the Wendy's in Atlanta, Georgia, that has put the country on its ear, again, is spot on. It wasn't my opinion. It was the opinion of a retired cop who is nameless. You have to go back and listen to that. It was something. It said a lot of things people didn't want to hear. And that former cop said, would I have shot him? Hell yes, I would have shot him. And was not apologetic about it. You'll have to listen to it to hear what the heck that guy was saying. Whether you agree or not is totally up to you. This person continues, finally somebody is remembering what the hell the police do for a living and what they do to protect the society. The end result in his death is unfortunate, but at the end of the day, this person writes, fuck that guy. I don't know why, but for some people, they don't realize the escalation level at resisting arrest and when greater force is used and justified. P.S. And the people who blocked the fire trucks from pulling in to put the fire out should be arrested for arson. The same way the other 3 cops were arrested for not helping Floyd. They committed a crime by standing by. Let's have some fairness and be fair. All right. And then Zaniac Tim checks back in. He writes, Zane, I'd love to hear a side-by-side comparison between Meyer Lady, crazy Meyer Lady, and Lady kicking the Karen's ass with motherfuck-a-bitch and motherfuck-accuser. Thanks as always. Keep up the good work. Signed, Tim. We'll see what we can do. All right. A lot going on today. Wow. Howard freaking Stern. All right. Quick recap. I'm not going to play the audio. It's pretty rough. This comes about. Trump Jr. tweeted out Howard's blackface skit and typed, yikes. A lot of people say this comes about because Howard's been critical of Trump. I think it was a filmmaker, it might say in the article that I'm going to dissect here, was tipped off that this is a thing, that Trump did blackface with horrible racist words during a bit from a pay-per-view in the early to mid-'90s. And was also side-by-side with his 2019 appearance on The View when Howard said, I'd never use the N-word. He was referring to on the air. I don't know. Maybe he had forgotten about the pay-per-view. I have no idea. But it was a little bit, well, it demands that he say something. Because you got that moment from The View. You got this bad moment from the early 90s. I made it very clear on the show that even if he hadn't said anything, which he has, and I'll talk about it, there's no way in hell you cancel that guy. Fuck that. I don't give a shit about what anybody did 27 years ago. I would like to think he's got a little bit more sense now, and he's going to do just that in this comment. I mean, hell, the shit I talked about or said back however long ago, I wouldn't want anybody to see that shit. Not because I'm racist, but because it sucks so bad. Hell, a lot of people say it sucks right now. All right. USA Today wrote about it. Howard Stern breaking his silence after the 1993 sketch showing him repeatedly using the N-word in blackface. The footage was unearthed on Twitter by filmmaker Tariq Nasheed, who combined Stern's comedy sketch with video of him being on The View, saying he's never used the racial slur. I didn't use the N-word, let's be very clear, Stern said to co-host Sonny Hostin, who challenges use of offensive language on the show. However, in the sketch from the pay-per-view New Year's Eve special, Stern says the racial slur repeatedly in blackface while parodying Ted Danson's infamously divisive Friars Club roast of Whoopi earlier that year. During the skit, Stern's version of Danson tells a number of N-word jokes while sitting next to comedian Sherman Hemsley, who impersonates Whoopi. That's so offensive, the fact that Sherman Hemsley impersonated Whoopi. And on The View in 2019, he had to sit next to Goldberg. Fuck. Danson's girlfriend at the time. Stern follows up each of his offensive jokes saying Whoopi wrote that joke to mock Goldberg's defense of Danson's 1993 Friars Club performance. I don't even remember that. The Danson, I vaguely recall that. But, man, it just doesn't register. It's not on our radar. The video reshared by Trump Jr. Yikes, Trump Jr. wrote. Monday, on Howard's Sirius XM show, Howard explained he does not regret lampooning Danson, but the radio host said he now would have done it differently. If I had to do it all over again, would I lampoon Ted Danson, a white guy in blackface? Yeah, I was lampooning him and saying, I'm going to shine a light on this, Stern said. But would I go about it the same way now? Probably not. Not probably. I wouldn't. Stern said he's evolved and changed with the help of a therapist in the years since the comedy special, adding that he doesn't view his old work. The stuff I did was fucking crazy, Howard said. I'll be the first to admit, I won't go back and watch those old shows. It's like, who is that guy? He continued, I cringe when I look at myself 30 or 40 years ago, and that was 27 years ago. I can't stand it. Am I a bad guy? I don't think so. By the way, Howard, definitely a product of the industry. I mean, Howard figured out, here's what happened to Howard. A long time ago, he figured out that worked, and that got asses in the seats. He figured that out, and it worked. And everybody got rich off of it. So that's what happened. As he got older, those things kind of faded away. And then that had to be incredibly rewarding, knowing he didn't have to fucking do that shit anymore. And he could actually just be a normal person and have discussion with people, and people would still buy what he was selling. Now, so that had to have been like, thank God, I don't have to do that anymore. I mean, constantly having to up the bar. I mean, where do you go from dropping that type of content? I mean, I can't think of anything much more shocking than what we saw there. Stern also criticized Trump Jr. for shit. This is great. This is probably the best part of this article, because I agree with Howard here. I call all bullshit on Trump Jr. This is all his fucking fault. Okay? This is all your fault. You see this here? This is all your fault.
This is all your fault.
He criticized Trump Jr. for sharing the video and focusing on him amid the coronavirus pandemic and rising racial tensions in the country. Attacking me during the coronavirus and Black Lives Matter is absolutely fucking crazy. Concentrating on me, Stern said. You want to concentrate on me and bully me and expose me with all the TV shows I've done? They're all out there. There's nothing new here. We all know. We all knew. I was the craziest fuck on radio. And then he says, Stern added that he fully supports people protesting police brutality and racial inequality. I'm excited about gay rights, telling you not to beat up gay people. I'm excited about the changes that are coming out of the Black Lives Matter movement, he said. Watching George Floyd choked to death, as I've said before, it's sickening and appalling, and I think real change might be in the air. Stern, who's been on the air for nearly 4 decades, is an outspoken critic of Trump, who Stern says appeared on his show 27 times over the years. So basically, he's saying, all right, this is Donald Jr. getting back at me because I've been calling out his dad at a horrible time to do it. And by glomming on to something like this doesn't do anything but incites more division within the country, and I kind of agree with him. That was a Bush League move. All right. So in my opinion, this is done. I'm very, very happy that he came out and said something. It would have been such a phony move if he had just ignored it and just went on business as usual. So that's really, really great, in my opinion, that he focused on that. That's the way you do it, man. Get out there, say what the hell is up, let the people know, and now it's done. It is fucking done. That's why he is in the spot that he is in. Yes, I love that. Okay. Closer to home. Man, shit. The nerve of some people. There's a apartment / condominium place not far from here. It's like an old building that they redid. Nice place to live. And you got a black guy living there, and he goes to work, and he turns around, and he looks at his door, and some crazy fucker has written all this racist shit on the guy's door. Now, imagine that. If you, on your residence, it says, go home, N-word, we hate you, F you, white, oh, my God. this is happening. And the fact that if you do something like this, there is a great chance you are going to get caught. There are cameras everywhere. You better not. Holy shit. Listen to this
right here, it really hurts, you know.
It's a disturbance of the peace that Mark Dotson is supposed to have in his own home.
Oh, man, it hit me tough. Like, I'm not even gonna lie.
He says he woke up to these racial slurs on his front door just over a week ago. Written, "No blacks allowed. Move inward, we don't want you here," and WLM, meaning White Lives Matter.
I held back some tears. I'm like, man, this is crazy.
Dotson says he found more hatred on his door yesterday. This time, KKK and WLM were written. He tells News 8 he called the Grand Rapids Police Department and officers are investigating. One of them is pictured here documenting the racism.
First thing he asked me when he saw me off his van was, "I okay?" Like, you can see the pain in my eyes.
So it is scary.
Pablo Mojave Veglia lives 2 doors down from Dotson. Although hard to see, Mojave Veglia says the person who wrote these messages does not represent everyone else who lives in this building.
We vastly outnumber whoever painted these things.
In a statement to News 8, condo managers say in part they're, quote, exploring additional security, and, quote, stand in defiance of discrimination of any kind.
And I don't want to live through this, but, you know, it's what's going on right now.
Police say they are not calling the vandalism a hate crime because they're still investigating. In the meantime, they tell News 8 they are working with the Office of Diversity and Inclusion to determine if there are possible human rights ordinance violations. Reporting in Grand Rapids, Donovan Long, News 8.
Yep. So the fucking stones on the racist to do that. I mean, Jesus. I mean, if you're going to be that bold, you're going to get caught. You might as well just knock on the door, and when the guy opens the door, just say it to his face and save him the work of having to clean off the door. Can you at least give them that? I mean, if you're that bold that you have enough stones to write nasty shit on a door, knowing that you're going to be caught, just save everybody the trouble. Knock. Hey, how are you? This is what I think about you. But he's not going to do that because he's probably scared shitless of getting his ass kicked by this guy. My God, all this garbage. Slowly but surely, they will be weeded out from society. They will expose themselves. By the way, I am done with. There's a lot left to talk about on the show. Trust me, I got many more things. But that the heavy shit ends there. I had it all in one big ball of heavy shit. So there you go. I got in my opinion, Howard is a good story. The fact that he has been completely out in front with it. And then the reminder that there is all sorts of shit everywhere you turn in the world. That's unfortunate. More sponsors that I have to get to that are awesome. I love them so much. First of all, I sponsor me with Cameo. Father's Day is coming up. Let me do a cameo for dad or the dad in your life. Reach out to me via cameo.com/Eric Zane. I'm dirt cheap, too. $15 is all it's going to cost you, and I'm telling you, they're going to remember this for life. Let me roast dad, and however you want me to do it. I can be nice. I can be ridiculous. I can be over-the-top mean if you tell me to. You are my boss for the Cameo. Tell me what to say, okay? Cameo.com/Eric Zane or download the Cameo app. Just search me. These guys, Metalworks Body Shop, shit kickers in Coopersville, Michigan. Now, they repair boats and cars and whatnot, but the bread is buttered in fixing up cracked up RVs, fifth wheels, motorhomes, campers, whatever it is. You know, they have the largest spray booth in Michigan, okay? It's unbelievable. They put these big-ass things in there, and they just do their thing. They are absolutely awesome. Metal Works Body Shop. Now, if you click on their logo at ericzaneshow.com, it takes you right to their Facebook page, which is where they want you to go. They have a great website, metalworksbodyshop.com, but they want you to go to the Facebook page or just search it out online, Metal Works Body Shop on Facebook. If you got an RV, remember, there is a place to fix that thing because you decided to back it into the campsite when you were already shit-faced, and then all of a sudden, You're dragging across a tree, and that's all fucked up, and your wife's pissed off at you. You thought you were going to get laid that night, after, maybe by the campfire. You screwed it all up because you tried moving the thing when you were drunk. Come on! Metalworks Body Shop. Blue Frost IT. In fact, they're right now monitoring the computer, making sure everything's good to go. I don't think we have a computer issue here, Alan. I think it's a Wi-Fi issue. Hopefully it's okay today. 616-285-50. If you are in a small or medium-sized business, you have an IT department, okay? You just got to call upon Blue Frost IT. A monthly plan is what you want. Let's say you're also relocating your business. You're going to need to take all your IT and move it. Or maybe you need new IT. They do that. 616-285-50 online at bluefrostit.com. My man Tim Mayer at Shoreliner Striping. Oh, my gosh. Licensed to print money. Do you need a parking lot striped? Do you need a workplace? I almost said workface. Do you need lines painted at your workplace? You work here. Do you have an athletic field that needs to be painted? ShorelinersStriping.com. Thank you so much. You can call them at 616-536-1985 for a free quote. And then Amy Porter. Wow. She wants to clean your home at A&D Cleaning. Call her at 616-550-3644. Oh, man, that would be a great present for somebody, maybe your better half, your lady, your wife, your mom. You can do a one-off. You can do a weekly. You can do monthly. You can do daily. A&D Cleaning, 616-550-3644. Call upon Amy Porter and mention me when you do so. Thank you. Okay, let's talk the all-new Ford Bronco. Now, I'm not really a car guy. I don't care. I am anxious to see what the Ford Bronco looks like because, the last memory I have of the Ford Bronco is of it driving down the interstate in Los Angeles, California, with one O.J. Simpson crouched down while Al Cowlings was driving it through for hours on end with about 8,000 cop cars in the low-speed chase. Wow. I lived that. Most of you did too. Where were you when O.J. was being tailed? That's what I remember about the old Ford Bronco. Well, eventually it was discontinued, but everything old is new again, and with the surging popularity of Jeeps, Ford is getting into that market. So you can take a vehicle like that, and they're going to get ready. They're getting ready to debut, okay? Coming up on July 9th, the brand new Ford Bronco. It's going to be made right here in Michigan, where we make shit, and we are the backbone of the entire country. Manufacturing state makes everything that you want in the world is made here in the best state in the union, Michigan. Ford Bronco. Why am I talking about this? Well, remember I talked about the last thing we all remember about the Ford Bronco is seeing O.J. In it as he's being trailed by the cops in 1993. They're debuting the new Ford Bronco in Detroit on the Juice's fucking birthday. So, wait. Is this intentional? Is Ford teaming up with O.J. to unveil the new Ford Bronco? Have we become this desensitized to the fact that he cut his wife's head off and killed the other dude who brought the glasses? What's his name? Ron Goldman? Right? No. Yeah, I don't know. Something Goldman. I know there's Dad Goldman, and I forget. Maybe his name's Ron. Ron's the dead guy, right? This is terrible. Anyway, the fact that Ford has said, all right, here we go. Let's launch the new Ford Bronco on OJ's birthday? Is this intentional? Are they actually going to have like a reenactment of the low-speed chase as well? Maybe actually bring the Juice and Al Cowlings in to actually drive it around while you have the Detroit Police Department or the state cops or whatever ride behind him? Huh? Ford says, even though they were told that this is OJ's birthday. I mean, if you think Ford Bronco, all you think about is OJ. You're doing it on the birthday of OJ Simpson. Oh, my God. The only thing that would be worse is if they did it on the anniversary of the actual low-speed chase. That was June 17th. So that would have to be tomorrow. My God. Quote, I gotta believe this is a mistake. Didn't anybody look at the calendar? Said John McElroy, the veteran industry observer and Autoline TV host. Ford Motor Company does not want to correlate the launch of such an iconic and important vehicle with a police chase with a notorious person. Everybody in the world knew that OJ was fleeing in a white Ford Bronco. It was a 60-mile low-speed pursuit carried on national TV, watched by 95 million people. You know, a third of the country. Michelle Krebs, executive analyst at Auto Trader, said, I am not quite sure what to say. McElroy said, I'll make a prediction. They'll change the date. No, actually, the company confirmed on Monday that they are sticking with July 9th. Happy birthday to you. We have a big cake, and maybe the Juice busts out of it and says, hello, Twitter world. Welcome to Ford Motor Company. Here's a new Ford Bronco. And then he's covered in cake, and he just gets in the car, and he takes off with like a knife in his hand. Shit. We're going to reveal the Bronco just like we said we would on July 9. Mike Levine, Ford North America product communications manager, told the Detroit Free Press. He said Simpson's birth date is purely coincidental. Correct. I agree, but it's still the Juice's birthday, the one synonymous with your brand, because he killed two people and took off in your car. Does that thing still exist, the actual Ford Bronco? I wonder. Let me ask the staff here. Maybe the staff can find it for me. Does OJ's white Bronco still exist? Where is OJ's white Ford Bronco now? As of 2017, the vehicle was on loan to the Alcatraz East Crime Museum, where it was put on display as part of an exhibit on the O.J. Simpson saga. So it's still a thing. Well, hell, since you're doing it on O.J.'s birthday, you might as well have him pull up in it, since you're honoring him, Ford, and then have him get out and like he traded in and hand the keys. Here you go. Thank you. And then get in a new one, and he peels out. I mean, you're already leaning on the side of terrible taste because you are now, you see, now it's on Ford. Ford now knows it's the Juice's birthday. So now they're essentially complicit. It's like they essentially planned it, right? It's likely Ford didn't realize the timing of the Broncos' debut, as that aspect of the Broncos' history is not one I imagine Ford celebrating. You don't know that. These are the same fuckers who run the Lions. Okay? Let's think about this for a second. The Ford brand is the Fords are the klutziest, clumsiest people in America. They're rich somehow. We don't know how. The fact that this auto company is still running is a fucking miracle. Look no further than how they run the Lions. Okay? So, Jesus. This totally makes sense in my eyes. That was said by Carl Brauer, executive publisher of Kelley Blue Book. Unfortunately, unless Ford changes the date, it'll be the lead, or at least a reference point, in every Bronco debut story. Why are they not doing this? They built the Bronco from 66 to 96, is poised to challenge Jeep among off-road adventure seekers in the fast-growing SUV segment. Brian Moody, executive editor of Auto Trader, said of the reveal date, "I'm sure it's a coincidence, but it does go to show that bringing back the Bronco is the right move. The Ford Bronco is so completely woven into the cultural fabric of America. Stumbling upon points of relevance happen accidentally, like the Mustang and F-150. Ford Bronco is forever part of America." Well, fuck this. I want to talk about OJ. They're going to make this at the Ford Michigan Assembly Plant in Wayne. It'll go on sale next year. They'll offer a 2-door and a 4-door version. I'm anxious to see what it looks like. Cannot believe they are going with the Juice's birthday to unveil it. You know OJ, he's such an attention whore. He won't be invited, but he'll, show up and have, a birthday party when they do, the big unveiling. One that's, not authorized, you know? My God, that guy. Him and Charlie. Remember that? He did that, didn't he do a special about if I did it? And then he, wrote a book. My God. Okay, strap yourselves in. It is celestial excitement. This one caught me off guard because you've got the various big brain people in the world today that are saying, without a doubt, unequivocally, not a theory in their world, that in our galaxy alone, the Milky Way galaxy, and I like to put this into perspective whenever I talk about celestial excitement, this enormous galaxy that we are in is so incredibly big, we can't even travel out of our own solar system, which is a very, very tiny part of our own Milky Way galaxy. We just recently had the Voyager spacecraft leave our solar system, and it took since 1977 to do that. That's how far, at 40,000 miles an hour. That's how big our solar system alone is. Now, we're talking about the galaxy here. Excuse me. Something that is incredibly large, and despite its mass, there are billions, with a B, of hundreds of billions of other galaxies that we know of. That's not even counting for the ones that we don't know of. That's how big all of this is. Think about that. If you had a spacecraft that could travel at the speed of light, it would take you hundreds of thousands of years to travel across our galaxy. The one. Okay? That gives you an idea. So with that as a backdrop, it for a long time has been known that there are scenarios with all of these suns/stars within our galaxy, that there would be a scenario that unfolds where you have a rocky planet similar to Earth at an appropriate distance to the sun that it is orbiting, that the possibility of water to be on it and life to emerge is high. Depending on the size of the sun, every sun has what's described as a Goldilocks zone, where a rocky planet can have habitable life. The Earth is in a Goldilocks zone. It's perfect. And over extended time, life began here. And it started out little, and it got big, and here we are. This is hundreds of thousands of millions of years of time to get to where we are. In fact, some people think that the civilization that we have right now on this planet may not have been the only civilization. There may have been times when there was something just like this, and then the shit hit the fan and the whole planet got resurfaced. I got to start over. And then time passes, and then here we are. Just a theory. Scientists are now saying, without a doubt, they have at least 36 intelligent alien civilizations in our galaxy. Not little microbes found fossilized in a moonstone, not evidence of bacterium. Intelligent alien life, at least 36 in our galaxy. Why is this so not a story right now? We're being told there's at least 36 other planets that have intelligent life form just dying to be heard from or visited. And no one's talking about this. The article from Forbes, strangely enough, writes, for years we've all we've had is what's known as the Drake equation to help us understand the question about is there anybody out there? And I'm not even familiar what the Drake equation is. I'll have to look that up. A group of scientists at the University of Nottingham think they've come up with a new cosmic evolution-based calculation. It's done on a calculation, or rather an estimation that suggests there are likely to be at least 36 ongoing intelligent civilizations in our Milky Way galaxy. Home to our solar system, estimated to have 100 billion to 400 billion stars in it. Again, mind-boggling number, just our galaxy. And for each one of those, one exoplanet per star. Published yesterday in the Astrophysical Journal, the new paper examines the likely number of communicating communicating extraterrestrial intelligent civilizations. The acronym CETI or SETI. It assumes intelligent life comes to occur on other planets much as it has done on our own. So basically, time. It has to be. And they're looking at distance from sun, evidence of, based on calculations of water, oxygen, and extended time. They're like, well, there's got to be people that are going, hey, we're here. What? This is incredible. It makes a lot of assumptions, indeed way too many assumptions for some that doubt its generous conclusions. I don't. I believe it's true. I've believed it's true for the longest time. By sheer numbers and time, it's got to be true. Out of all of this shit that I've detailed for you on this little rant that I'm doing, it has to be. We would be way, the chances of just us being the only advanced civilization is absolutely incredible. They're absolutely ridiculous, ridiculously high for there to be other forms of life. A key assumption is that it takes around 5 billion years for intelligent life to form on other planets, just like here. It took 5 billion years, depending on what you believe. Some people believe that God just said, there's man, and poof, he happened. But that's not true. It's not how it happened at all. Little theology based in it. There is God, obviously. You know I believe that. But even most churches would agree right now that it is a melding of theology and science, okay, to bring us to where we are right now. That's at least what I believe. But there are people that go, bullshit, there were no dinosaurs. We've been here for 2,000 years. You're fucking crazy. You're not allowed to talk in this conversation amongst big people. Shut up. Takes 5 billion years for life to form on a planet, going from very, very small to where we are right now. But that life is probable. That's a big assumption for sure. Another that a technological civilization will last at least 100 years, as ours has thus far. After all, it took 4.5 billion years of evolution before a technological civilization arose on Earth. Now, when they say technological civilization, technology meaning they're using their surroundings to increase their chances of survival, and that means any tool. The second any living being on Earth goes, wait, this stick can be used to stab that fucker next to me, that is technology. That's how long it took for humanoids to start to advance. As soon as they figured out they could better themselves by bashing that guy in the face with a rock, that is using technology. The number of civilizations depends strongly on how long they are actively sending out signals of their existence into space. Oh, my God. Such as radio transmissions from satellites and TV. The calculation, which says there could be 36 active communicating intelligent civilizations in our home galaxy on 4.5. Shit. Man, this is the worst when this happens to me. Now I have an ad for T-Mobile. Shit. Man. God dang it. You get so excited in a story. Hang on. It just resets. Pardon me. Where was I? I'll edit this out of the podcast, is what Brian Kelly says, and then he never does. The calculation which says there could be 36 active communicating intelligent civilizations in our home galaxy on 4.5 billion years old or more, Earth-like planets around sun-like stars is called the astrobiological Copernican limit by the researchers. It takes into account star formation histories, how common metal-rich stars are like the sun, the likelihood of stars hosting Earth-like planets in their habitable zones. The authors note that the average distance to one of these 36 civilizations is around 17,000 light years away. So detection and communication is currently impossible. That's the thing. It's right there. My God. We can't communicate. There's nothing that can be done. However, there's the thorny question of how long intelligent civilizations tend to survive. Talks a little bit more about that. All right, I'll link this up. You can review it, the rest of it at home. But still, to think that, oh, my God, 36 intelligent alien civilizations. I'm like, what I want to know is, how did you come up with the specific number? Is there, I need a little bit more unpacking on the article. But just to think. That, I'm serious. That is the type of thing that would just keep me awake at night, thinking that there could very well be virtually something as similar as us, or even more advanced out in the galaxy, is just incredible. Man, oh, man. Okay. A story coming up about why I carry a gun. One of the nice contributors sent this along. Sorry if I don't have your name. I appreciate it. And it was sent to me. It said, Zane, I now understand why you carry a gun, or something like that. That story coming up. And wouldn't you like a little bleach in your shake? What? But as you know, I'm on Patreon. I got an extra podcast that I do each and every day. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. It's a lot of fun. If you listen to the freebie, and you want to continue your days listening, sign up on Patreon. It's $5 or $10 a month. And because of Patreon, well, that really bought me a lot of time. It bought me about 3 months to build sponsorships, and that's how it went. I got on Patreon. I had a ton of people, like 430 of you, giving me $5 or $10 a month, and you quite literally kept me afloat. I had 0 sponsors at the time, and then I had to bust my ass because I knew it would drop off, and it has. It's planed out at 225 of you, and it's kind of been stuck there. But that's okay because it bought me, it did its job. The job was to allow me to build sponsorships for the freebie, And so that has allowed me to keep doing this. So thank you. If you ever want to get more podcasting, check me out on Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane. Today, we're playing Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer Trivia at 10:30 Eastern Time. For Patreon members only, you can stream that show. Dale and Zaniac Brian in New Jersey are going head-to-head. Brian trying to win that cash from Bennett Flooring Installation. Sarah Honda Granville is on board. You can give them a call at 616-667-4517. SarahHondaGranville.com. Open for business. Check out the great selection of amazing Honda vehicles. We've been buying cars there for years. For whatever it could be. It could be a brand new Honda Odyssey minivan. Could be a Civic. Could be a new Accord. Great cars, Hondas. They really hold their resale value much better than any other vehicle on the market. In West Michigan, they're on the corner of Kennewa and 44th Street. Can't miss it. Right by the Cracker Barrel. SarahHondaGranville.com. When you go into Sarah Honda Granville, please mention the Eric Zane Show podcast. My show competes with all the other radio shows for advertising dollars. And I want them to know that this little old podcast put together with string and cups and wires and whatnot is kicking all manner of ass and gets just as much traffic into their building because of it. Thank you. And finally, last but certainly not least, Prince Army. Steve Prince, retired U.S. Army Major, teaches you everything you need to know to get certified so you can get your CPL, and that's the crux of my next story that I have coming up. Now, originally I said that the next class is coming up on the 27th or something like that of June, or it's really strange. But there's been a change. Starting next Tuesday, he's doing a Tuesday class for the next CPL training adventure. The next class is over a week. It starts June 23rd, and then the following Tuesday, June 30th. That is the next CPL class. So forget what I've told you earlier. It's June 23rd and June 30th. One class, 2 nights, over a week's time. If you need more information, reach out to Steve. 616-204-1705. Steve, one of the things he talked about with me when he was teaching me is, the person who has a CPL refuses to be a victim, doesn't want to be a sitting duck in the unlikely event that they are called upon to use deadly force. And most people will never have to use that. But in the event that there is some wacko doing something terrible with a bit of weaponry or maybe just using their hands as a belligerent, that can absolutely be the scenario that you would be forced to protect you, a loved one, or a innocent person on the street. And if you think, well, that's me, I'm a sheepdog, I can do that. That's the point. That's why I carry a pistol, and that's why you should too. The guy here in this story, 2 people in question. This happened in the Lansing area. Delta Township is where it happened. Happened, I think it was yesterday. Quite literally, there's a guy at 8:30 in the morning yesterday walking down the street, pointing his gun at cars and shooting it into the air. A sheepdog with a pistol license gets out of his car. The guy points his gun. Actually, the guy pointed his gun at the guy in the car first. And he's going to shoot him. Pistol, then good guy gets out of his car, draws, and puts one right between his eyes. Dead in the street. Bad guy. Done. Holy shit, this is great. Check it out.
And we are following breaking news at noon west of the city of Lansing. West Saginaw Highway is closed right now between Canal Road and Kreitz Road because of a deadly shooting. 6 News reporter Araceli Crescencio is here for you now live from the scene in Delta Township. Araceli, what can you tell us?
Yeah, as you can see, there's still some police out here. And
by the way, Lansing, we got the B team on the news. Yeah, just have, just pointing that out.
Parts of West Saginaw Highway remain closed as police try to investigate the circumstances that led to this deadly shooting. I'm going to take a step over here so you can take a closer look at the scene that is developing. What we know so far is that calls came in this morning around 8:30 about a man walking down the road holding a gun, aiming it at people, and possibly firing shots into the air. That's when a man nearby saw it happening and pulled out a gun and killed that person. Now the shooter was carrying a concealed license and is now cooperating with police. Officials say that this isn't something they see every day and will be investigating fully.
We don't get calls like this all the time.
It always drives me nuts. They go to the cops for a statement, and it's always the same thing. I've never seen this before, or we don't see this often, and that's basically the extent of the quote.
Cooperating with police. Officials say that this isn't something they see every day and will be investigating
No kidding.
fully.
We don't get calls like this all the time where someone's walking down the center of Saginaw Highway here, shooting his gun in the air and pointing his gun at vehicles. This is very unusual for us, but in this particular instance, it turned out a deadly incident.
Wow. What a thing to say. Incredible quote. I've taken so much from that.
Police say nobody else is injured at this time, but ask witnesses to give them a call to see if they saw anything, as well as they're asking them to check their vehicles to see if they may have any bullet holes inside of them. Now, as for whether that shooter will face charges, police say it will be up to the prosecutors. We'll be following this story all day and have updates for you, so make sure to stick on WLNS. Here for you, live in Delta Township, Araceli Crescencio, 6 News.
Way to go, Araceli. Keep working on it. All right, so there's that. Earlier I read an email. I had a listener who said, oh, man, the Monday podcast, the cop weighing in about deadly force was supposed to be used in the Wendy's killing. That got Tom wound up. Tom writes in this, Eric 100% disagree with that cop killing the guy. I do not condone bad guy taking the taser, or I guess dead guy taking the taser. I don't know if he's bad. Well, it was bad there, there's no question. I don't condone the taking of the taser or running from the arrest, but Tom continues, bottom line, the guy didn't need to be killed or shot. He was running away. It was a face-saving, bitch-ass move to shoot a guy in the back. The cops at the station would have given him hell, I bet. Oh, you got disarmed, and the guy got away. So Tom is insinuating that he did that so that he wouldn't hear it from the guys at the station. I don't know about that. Why is it the taser isn't a deadly weapon in a cop's hands, but it is a deadly weapon in a black guy's hands? I don't think anybody said it was a deadly weapon, though. No, the cops, he wrote wasn't threatened, but he wrote, I see what he's written. No, the cop wasn't threatened at all, but his ego was. He adds, fuck Mike the cop. That guy shows how broken our police training is. Tom continues, you are supposed to protect and serve, not shoot someone in the back. That cop should have taken the loss. He had the guy's car and address, and he knew his daughter had a birthday the next day. They could have easily found him as opposed to killing another black guy. Nobody needed to die, Tom writes, and I'm sick of hearing otherwise from people who would also claim to be pro-life. Have a good one, signed Tom. All right. Now, I haven't said, so hopefully you're not aiming that at me. I'm not saying anybody needed to die. If it were me, if I were the cop, I would have, because I haven't said one way or another. I've just read the emails. I haven't weighed in. But I do think that if I were the cop, the idea, I heard another, now I'm not a cop, so I wouldn't have come up on this on my own, but I did hear someone weigh in who was a former cop. I can't remember where I read this, but he said that probably the better thing to have done, why this person knows the better thing that should have been done was follow the guy. You don't even have to catch him, but utilize backup. You can talk onto your thing, your radio, while you're chasing the guy. It would have been quite easy to get this guy. And that made really good sense to me. I don't think he should have died either. There's no question. But some people in law enforcement are saying that he absolutely should have, so that discussion needs to be had. I'm a layperson. I'm not a pro, and neither is Tom. But this is what's being discussed around the water cooler these days, whether or not that was the right thing to do. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate the input. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Okay, one more for you. It is cop-related, but I think some people jumped to conclusion here. And that obviously happens from time to time. 3 cops show up. They go into the Shake Shack. They're going to get some burgers, shake, and the next thing you know, these cops are in the hospital. What the hell happened? Turns out that inside of the shakes was bleach. Oh, my God. Now, the way they reported it, the way it seemed, was that the shakes were tainted. You know, there was a story in the news about a couple National Guardsmen in D.C. that were doing, when the National Guard was called in during some of the protests, that some National Guards representatives went in their fatigues into a pizza joint, or they ordered a pizza, and the pizza shows up, and there was glass shards in the pizza. That was the story. They didn't report it. Nobody reported it, but the story is out there that happened. Whether or not it's true or not, I don't know. And, you know, it makes you wonder what's going on here. Are you getting people rebelling against uniform members and peacekeepers or cops or National Guard? Oh, my God, that would be horrible. So the media's jumping on board and saying, oh, God, here we go. The cops had bleach. And then the local PBA and whatnot are saying, okay, this was an attack on the police. And they said, all right, our uniformed police are clearly in trouble. This is an awful thing. I'm writing to alert you of a very serious safety issue. This is from the PBA in Lower Manhattan. It wasn't discovered till they ingested it. They're sick. All PBA members are advised to carefully inspect their prepared food. We must be vigilant. We cannot afford to let our guard down for even a moment. We cannot have our police coming under attack. So everybody's jumping on board. We're horrified. Well, it turns out the person who cleaned the shake machine did a poor job. They did a thorough investigation. There was nothing wrong. New York Police Department investigated. They found out that some dumbass didn't clean the Shake Shack shake machine right. And the cleaning agent wound up in the shakes. After a thorough investigation by the police, no criminal activity, nothing wrong. Shake Shack employees did not do that. Police and the police union initially suspected an employee may have contaminated the shakes with bleach, but after a little bit of police work, thank God, they found out that there was absolutely no issue. The cops were sick. They were like hospitalized. It was bad. But they ended up okay. They were released, and that's the end of that. And that's the end of this. Boy, we made it. It was weird earlier when I lost the feed. I don't know what the hell happened. My God, sorry about that. The Eric Zane Show podcast happens daily right here. There's a live element, as you know. There's a pre-recorded element in all podcasting platforms. And if you want to sponsor the show, get your message heard by thousands every week. My gosh, the numbers keep going up. Tens of thousands of people watch my videos. Tens of thousands download my podcast. I'm not going to get a Rogan Spotify deal, but I can move the meter for your business, no matter where you are. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Let me talk about your business. Thank you so much, folks. I appreciate you for joining me on the Eric Zane Show podcast. You have a great rest of your day. Till next time. Bye-bye. Talk to you on the Patreon. 10:30, Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer Trivia with Dale. Bye-bye.